Hey, Warrior Saints. Glad to have you beautiful people with us as we continue our conversation from yesterday and so on. So that leads then, I guess, to maybe the last one we want to chat about is um, once you give your word, man, you better be committed, right? So this one we could talk about for all day. So let's just go after it. I mean, you started it. So I'll turn it over to you before we go into, in January, you get an invitation for a party in May and you gladly accept, right? And then 2-3 weeks out, other things start popping, and now what? Ready to go.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard because you might not want to do what you already said you were going to do. Because at the time, it's not even that other things pop on the same day necessarily. So like this past weekend, we had a graduation party on Friday night that we knew about from the previous January, actually.
Yeah.
And then we had dinner that we had committed to go to on Saturday night. And then Sunday afternoon, my daughter and I had tickets to go see the Empire Strikes Back in concert at the Symphony, which I had bought tickets for in November.
Mm-hmm.
And then Monday, we took my kids to a Pirates Diamondbacks game because we hate our children and wanted to take them to see the Pirates. But that's because we love our children. I'm from Pittsburgh. But the point is, like, none of those things happened where we booked all 4 days at once.
Right.
Yeah. And then as things come up, you're like, oh my God, why did I do this to myself?
Yeah.
And how do I get out of something? But then you're like, well, what do you get out of? Because they're all fun things. And then you do that dance in your mind. And then you have that fun Arabic expression that comes into your mind. Well, maybe the others will flake. Better it come from them.
Oh, yeah. I've had that happen where someone's flaked on me that I was tempted to want to flake too. And I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
But that's their business.
That's theirs.
We're talking about us. I mean, like I think the real challenge, and here again, crucifixional, there will always be another competing event. Sometimes it will be better, or at least more exciting, maybe not better, or more interesting.
Yeah.
There will always be, you're tired, you're exhausted, you're sick. There will always be the things that you have committed to other things that are pulling you away from the things that you're committed to. And what do? I mean, that's the real challenge, right? Here's a true story. It happened in this church before me. There was a wedding, and the priest was driving and got in a car accident and needed to go to the hospital, but he committed to serve their wedding. So he freaking drove here. He did their wedding, and then he went to the hospital. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, I was impressed, I mean, we think about all that kind of stuff. Dave Grohl, you know who Dave Grohl is? He's was the drummer of Nirvana, went on Foo Fighters, right?
Foo Fighters.
Crazy cool dude. I really like his story. But there's a concert, and I think it was in Germany. He committed to doing this concert. I may be wrong, but it's out there. You can find it on the Google. He fell and broke his leg in the middle of the concert. He got up. He said to the people, I'm going to go. I'll be back. He left for an hour, went to the hospital. They casted his leg. Foo Fighters kept playing music for an hour, and he came back and sang for another 2.
Yeah.
Like, he committed to those people. They bought that ticket and spent their money, and he didn't get a wah-wah.
Yeah.
Right? He broke his freaking leg. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And he had to play the rest of the concert in a wheelchair with his cast. That's commitment. You know what I mean? And that's legit.
Yeah.
And yet, sometimes, and I accuse myself first, when we get an invitation and we get up to it and we're not interested or we're tired or whatever, we don't honor that word.
Yep.
How tragic is that?
Well, I think that's the key. That mentality of better it comes from them. It should never come from you.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't take it on. You don't flake on it. If you say something, you do something.
Yeah.
If you say you're going to do it. And that's the difficulty going all the way back to the beginning with commitment to God, commitment to the church, and often commitment in our relationships. Is we've said that we're going to do this.
Right.
And then everything else pops in front of us.
Right.
And how? Because we've made our commitment. We've honored honoring our word becomes a playing out of the commitment that we've made in all those other situations.
Yeah.
And becomes more opportunities to actually keep finding ways to have that tested and to overcome.
Yeah. You know, I say it to people all the time too. You are your word.
Yeah.
You know, you are not, people say, but Father, if only you knew the real me. And I'm like, that's silliness. There is no real you. Like I can crawl inside your head and like know the real you. The real you is what you give me.
Yeah.
That's all I have access to.
Yep.
Your actions, your words, your behavior. And if your word and your behavior is not filled with commitment and doesn't honor that, then I know who you are very clearly. I mean, I may not say it to you, but I know who you are. And so you, not just you are your word. And so if you commit, by goodness, you better stick to it. I mean, Jesus tells, right? Let your yes be yes and your no be no and all that kind of stuff, right? It's what you do to honor the words that you speak that matter.
Yeah.
Right? Batman. It's not what I say, but what I do that defines me. Great movie. First Batman. The first real Batman with Christian Bale. Anyways, I like it. You don't like it? You like Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton.
We're going to ignore what you just said for the sake of our relationship.
You don't like the Christian Bale movies?
I love the Christian Bale movies.
Yeah, they're great.
They're absolutely phenomenal.
But
the Michael Keaton Batman is the true Batman.
he was good.
He was phenomenal.
I like Val
And
Kilmer, but he didn't do great. Yeah, Michael was good, but I mean,
Keaton, Tim Burton's Batman really is what that one is. It redefined the Batmans moving forward because everything prior to that was campy and not cool.
kazow.
Yeah, pow,
Yeah.
ping, pop. Like he changed Batman forever. And then when it got to the movie Batman Forever, it was terrible. Do you know why there was no Robin in the 1989 Batman?
No.
Because it would have made it too campy and childlike. And so they kept him out of it. Anyway, Christian Bale is also phenomenal. And when I talk to my son and we go back and forth, I am Batman, we imitate the Christian Bale Batman. So it is good. All of that to shift back to what we're talking about is when you honor your word, you really are doing what you say you're going to be doing. And I know I'm saying that with weird emphasis that makes it sound like it's really profound, but it's so simple.
Yeah. It's real.
It's just do what you say you're going to do. And that is how we know who you are. Because who you are is, well, the biggest problem is people don't often know who they are. That's a whole nother discussion for something else. Because how often do people think that they are people who are committed, who are people who are honoring their word, and then after reneging on a commitment, might come to you and ask you for a recommendation or something like that? What do you do in that scenario? I mean, I tell people that's great, but just so you know, I'm going to be honest. And they say, oh, yeah, great. I'm like, you have no idea who you are.
Yeah.
You have no idea what that honesty is going to look like. Because like you're on planet Tutu.
Yeah.
I don't know why Tutu, but that's where it was.
I don't know what to say. I'm usually not speechless. I had a whole thing to say, and then I'm like, what?
I think it's been good. I think it's been great to talk about commitment in this way. And I think we've had some really funny moments, but also like, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, great stuff. So let's say it like, maybe just wrap up. I thought this was great. I enjoyed it. Thank you for the time and doing all the stuff that you do. You know, I guess the bottom line, what we've concluded is that obviously commitment's a good thing, but that it requires sacrifice of yourself and other, pleasurable things in order to honor the things that you have committed to. And it should be first and foremost the Lord God himself, our churches, our family, our relationships, and then of course to our word. I think we could keep going with that list, our jobs, all the rest, but it's a good enough list. And remember this, when you commit, you're in sacrifice is coming and you're going to be confronted with it. And so I might add this last word. If when you're ready to make a commitment and you're not sure, what do you do? Right. And I've been thinking about this a lot. I've applied it to my life. I don't remember where I got it. So I'm plagiarizing this from someone, and it's unfortunate because I can't remember where I got it, but it's great. If there's any doubt, there's no doubt. So like if you're not, it's kind of like that. I forgot his name. It's either hell yeah or no. I forgot his name. It's a great TED talk. Anyways, you're just be all in on it and then commit. And if you're not, just say no. Politely say no. so that when you get to your 4-day a weekend thing that like you just talked about, you're not losing your mind because you've overcommitted to things.
Yeah.
I love it. Great stuff. All right. Great
Great.
stuff. Glad to have you beautiful people with us. We will be back on Sunday, as always. Orthros Liturgy, 9 and 10 a.m. respectively in the Pacific time zone, which is also where we live at the current moment. We'll be back next week with more of our crucifixion live stream. As always, love you. Thanks for being with us. Keep walking on the way of the warrior saint.